So, have you all seen this video from this white guy talking about voting for a cop? Like, I'm trying to understand what he's saying in this video, but I thought I should bring this video here so we all can see it together. And of course, some people responded to him. Like, I'm trying to understand, his video. Please check it out.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the cop, you're not voting for the cop. And you need to vote for the cop because it's the cop's turn to be president.
So after seeing this video, I quickly checked the comments because, guys, like I said, I'm trying to understand the video. And someone in the comments asked a question, guys, I'm confused. What is he talking about? People, replied and said, Kamala is a cop. And it began to make sense. Okay, but did you all notice the caption of his video? Okay, let's just have this discussion today. I have seen multiple videos from white people, okay, saying stuff about Kamala. I know it is politics, people are going to say stuff. I have said in one of my videos that some of are having issues with her because she's a woman of color. Anyways, you guys, people stitched his video. I just want us to see what they said to him. And of course, I'm going to show you some screenshots of comments I grabbed from his comment section. Please check the stitches out.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the
Did you know you can talk about all of these things without throwing a black woman under the bus? You can literally talk about all of these things and not do Trump's work for him. But no, you would rather weaponize black trauma to further your own narrative instead of considering the fact that multiple things can be true at the same time. But instead of making defunding the police a condition to earning your vote, you would rather reduce Kamala Harris to a cop and compare her to a white man, a white cop, that murdered a black woman. Now, I don't know about you, but something about that seems racist.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the
Yeah, I'm angry about the murder of Sonia Massey too. But in my opinion, using that anger as an opportunity to discourage people from voting for Kamala Harris is not the play. Bottom line, the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act had provisions in it that could have prevented Sonia Massey's death, provisions that created a database of bad cops and punish police departments that hire those bad cops. And the cop who murdered Sonia Massey worked for 6 different police departments in 4 years and had 2 DUIs. He would not have been hired under the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act. That act is being blocked by Republicans. The only way we get it passed is by electing Democrats across the fucking board.
And if you don't vote for the cop, you're not voting for the cop.
And don't talk about your privilege or superiority out loud, because you have the privilege and superiority to do that. Let's not talk about our cognitive dissonance right here. It's privilege. I don't know what's grosser, the fact that you decided to use the brutal murder of yet another black woman as a way to somehow pit women of color and black women against each other, or the fact that you are trying to shame a community who's trying to vote for their survival. And the passing of yet another black woman is perfect reason to highlight why we need to vote for survival. And it's also really weird that you're just categorizing Kamala as a cop. I could have sworn that when people leave jobs that they're called former cop. Just like, you were formerly relevant somewhere at some time at some point, right? Not so much anymore. Instead, you're yet another white leftist being tone deaf, ignorant, callous, and quite frankly, embarrassing. You will be better immediately. Immediately. You should probably take this video down. You're not going to because privilege. But just a word of advice from a black woman who's never been a cop, but I still will vote for the former cop.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the
You don't. You don't. And there are going to be people who tell you, especially if you're white, that if you're not voting for Vice President Kamala Harris, that you're racist. And if voting for a non-white presidential candidate was enough to make a white person not racist, then every white person who voted for former President Barack Obama would already not be racist. And we're still racist for a myriad of other reasons, and we're going to be for the rest of our lives. That's something we're going to be actively working against forever, or at least we should be. As white people, particularly white Americans, I mean, I'm sure it's true about white people in other places, but I'm a white American, and we have been conditioned generationally to thrive off of the murder, mistreatment, dehumanization, stripping of identities from Black, brown, indigenous people and people of color. The intention for malice, the presence of hatred or disdain in our hearts is not necessary because it's coming from such a deeply conditioned generational place. It's something that we always have to be aware of and actively working against. We must be humanizing these people in our minds, even Black, brown, indigenous people and people of color we don't necessarily like or agree with, because there is no room for racism. And we are human beings. So we're not gonna catch it 100% of the time. It's inevitable that even the best of us, it's going to come out. And we need to accept that right away and be open to the possibility that without realizing it or without intending to, we've done the thing. So that when it's pointed out to us, we can be like, you're right. What I should have said was this, that, and the third. And then move on. Truth be told, I don't know you, but I don't see you doing that, and I think that's a shame. Vice President Kamala Harris is not a cop, nor has she ever been a cop. She was a district attorney, and cops and district attorneys are two entities that are frequently at odds with one another. They're not the same. Calling a district attorney a cop is like calling a doctor a certified nurse's assistant. You could become a cop in less time than it takes for you to become a licensed barber, and going from law school to district attorney was probably a decade or more out of this lady's life. And now, you're a white man, however you feel about it, in the most public place on earth, associating a woman who is at a higher risk of experiencing unjust and unlawful police brutality and use of lethal force from the same entity that you're associating her with than you would be. Instead of sharing any valid critiques or criticisms, should you choose to. Since you've said something about it, you didn't share anything about her policies, about how you feel or what you think about the way she's occupied any spaces. You just boiled her down to something she's not, nor has she ever been. And it's wild. You got the overtly racist white people who like the torches and pitchforks and will actively and directly say or insinuate that Black, brown, indigenous people and people of color are less than human. But then you got us. Shit like this, where it's like, no, Black, brown, indigenous people and people of color, they should be treated like human beings, but not too much. Not to the point where I gotta think about what I'm saying first. I don't know. Wild. We're still doing that.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the
White leftists need to face reality as to their standards and why they aren't voting for Kamala Harris. Because we had no problem sending a begrudging vote for Crime Bill Biden in 2020, but for some reason we now suddenly have a problem with that when it comes to Kamala Harris. And let's not pretend like Kamala Harris's record as prosecutor, district attorney, and attorney general was anywhere near as harmful as Biden's crime bill. Keep in mind, I am still voting third party this election. I am going to be voting in California, and that is going to be a lock for whoever the Democratic nominee is, and that's likely going to be Kamala Harris. I am doing so because I am trying to send a message about Gaza. I am not doing so because of some cop versus felon narrative, even though that's what Kamala is marketing her campaign as. Meanwhile, somewhere like Pennsylvania is going to be a whole lot more crucial in the election against Donald Trump. I might even encourage Pennsylvania voters to vote for Kamala Harris because of that. Biden was never going to win, but Kamala Harris can. That is why leftists need to be a lot more strategic and intentional with the way that they are engaging with this election.
You need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the cop...
If you follow me and have been in my lives, you know I've talked about creators like this. I've talked about them a lot. And I'm not going to mention specific creators that I've discussed on here, but I will tell you that there are plenty of white ally creators on this app, and if you're a mutual of mine, I guarantee you follow some of them, because we've had conversations about it and how they're problematic, in my opinion. And I do this not just from looking from the outside in. I have literally interacted with these individuals on multiple occasions in other lives that I have been in, and I have not identified myself. I haven't told them who I was, and so what they saw was just a regular white girl. That's it. A regular white girl who didn't know what she was talking about, who thought she knew stuff. And I just let it go. I just let them think what they wanted to think because I had already pegged them for who I thought they were. They are white allies who use this platform to make money on the black community. That's not an ally. That's taken advantage. Their entire community that follows them are the black community. It's not white people. White people aren't following them to learn, because when white people come into that space, there are two different types of white people. There's the white people who are obviously racist and horrible people. Those people need to automatically be blocked. That's not a safe space. They automatically need to be blocked. We don't have time for them. They cannot be educated. Right? They're just spewing hate, and why are you giving them a platform to talk about it? And then there's the other type of person. Those are the ones that don't have the same education, but genuinely want to learn. And then they come up there because we forget that in the United States, Black history is not taught accurately. It's not taught thoroughly or accurately in any capacity. And a lot of people in this country forget that there are so many individuals who are not educated on the facts. And they come into a space and they genuinely want to know. They genuinely want to learn. And those creators tear them apart. Just anything they say. I listened to a live earlier today, and the woman had made a comment, and it honestly was completely neutral. But the creator recognized that this woman was agreeing with everything she said, and she wasn't any fun. She wasn't getting any rise out of her. And so she took the nuances of her words and she completely misconstrued them and painted her out to be something she wanted. And the girl just sat there and took it because she genuinely was trying to understand. But it didn't matter, because no matter how hard she tried, she was going to be the villain. Because that creator is not there to teach white people about Black history. That creator is there to tell Black people exactly what it is they want to hear and take their money and get views off of it. They are taking advantage of the situation. You need to stop supporting them. If you are a white person, you need to find a strong, amazing, intelligent Black creator on this app who educates. And there are so many of them. I follow so many fantastic women and men that are on this app that do this every single day. And they educate, and they're amazing, and their platforms are phenomenal, and you will learn so much. But there is no reason for you to follow a white man who calls himself an ally or a white woman who calls herself an ally who does not actually educate, who sits there and race baits and tears people apart simply to get money for entertainment purposes. That just causes more problems and causes more division and reinforces a stereotype that racists already have. I am telling you, stop supporting these individuals. They will eventually show their true colors, just like this one did.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote...
What's up, Patriot? My, how the tables have turned. It's pretty hilarious, because now you gotta vote for the felon instead of the prosecutor who's gonna lock up the felon. It's pretty crazy how that worked, huh? But you're terrified of Madam President, and I'm here for every second of it. I love this for you. I love this for all of you. It's a new energy in the party. It's unified. Let's go, Darwin. Lock 'em all up. Amen.
If you don't vote for the cop, you're not voting for the cop.
There are 1,000,001 things I want to say about this video and about this man, but there are a bunch of other creators who have ate his ass up, and I'm loving it. So I'm going to keep this short and simple. Fucking delete the video. Number 1. Number 2, just shut the fuck up. Number 3, please educate yourself before you speak, because where and when has Kamala ever been a fucking cop? And number 4, you then want to try to post videos about books you should read to make yourself look like, oh, you're so educated and you care because you spent time and money on these books that their spines aren't even bent. You have not read those fucking books. Anyway, we have yet another white man out here trying to tell people how to feel and what to do.
Anyways, you need to vote for a cop. And if you don't vote for the...
Take this shit down. Take this shit down and shut all the way the up. Can't say it in that manner because this video is going to get taken down. But maybe you'll listen to me. Maybe you'll listen to someone like me, because you've shown over the last couple days listening's not your goddamn strong suit, especially when it comes to black folks. So maybe you'll listen to me. And maybe I could say it in a way that'll reach forward to you. Let me just close my alarm there. What were you trying to accomplish with that video? What point were you trying to make by trying to take the criticism of a black woman who's running for office and at the same breath try to make a joke, because nobody was laughing about what happened the last couple days to what happened to Sonia Massey, which, by the way, it couldn't have killed you to say her name. So you try to take what happened to Sonia Massey and you're trying to take the criticism of Kamala Harris and you're trying to fusion them together into some shitty joke, which nobody's laughing, nobody, and you got reamed out for it. There's 13 bullets in the corpse. I'm not about to come up here and put the 14th one in. But what were you trying to do there? Tell me. When you say something insensitive about a person of color, especially black folks in America, and then those very particular black folks said, hey, this ain't it. It wasn't even that bad of a comment section. They really weren't being that bad to you or mean. All you had to do was apologize. The first thing you can do is listen. That is the biggest and most important step of unlearning the shit that you know. So what the fuck do? You double down, you triple down, and what does this motherfucker do? What do? You go, actually, my African Americans, I read this book about what it's like to be African American in America, and I think I should hold your hand and we should go along this journey together. What do you say, guys? You're trying to defend your fucking stupid ass comment by trying to educate black folks on what it's like to be black? And the fucking audacity to think that reading those books, which you never even read, did you see when you opened that book, it was like new car smell. It was like, I smelt that shit through the phone. Did you see the spine on those boys? Untouched, straight, immaculate, 10 out of 10 perfection. Not a speck of goddamn dust was on those books because you didn't read them. You did not read those books. Hey, I have Amazon Prime too. Trust me, that overnight shipping, it hits different when you really need it in a jam. But you're using your account just wrong. You should cancel that $12.99 a month. You are literally, and I genuinely mean this. This is some of the most out of touch shit I've ever seen on this app. And I've been on this stupid ass app for a while. So, hey, you obviously shown you don't like to listen to black folks, so maybe you'll listen to me for some reason. Maybe I could get through to you. White boy to fire mullet. It doesn't matter how many books you read that are made by Black Panthers. It doesn't matter how many books you read on Pan-Africanism. It don't matter how many books you read on the black experience in America and the way these authors are trying to portray their pain and how they're trying to undo the system. Black authors are great, but you cannot tokenize them as to defend your fucking arrogance, and you cannot teach black folks in America what it's like to be black as if they don't know every goddamn day and they don't know what those words mean. So please take it down. By the way, Kohl's is probably right down the street from you. Go there, return those books, and cancel your Amazon account.
I'm gonna show you all some screenshots of comments. Obviously, I grabbed from his comment section. Like, the comment section is just wild. Like, some people were just confused. Some people were just asking questions. What is going on here? Like, on your screen are some of these comments. Please pause to read if you want to. So obviously from the caption, you could tell that this white man is using a black woman's death for his political campaign, which is very disgusting in my own opinion. Imagine being one of Sonia's children and you happen to see this video, see people like this use your mother's recent mother for corny TikTok trends and, for views. White people are always doing this, using the pain of black people, like mocking them, making videos with them just to trend, just to get views, to make money. This is, again, very disgusting. Just vote whoever you want to vote, and please leave black people out of this. You just need to stop. People are asking him to delete this video, but the video is still up for some reason. And you could see in the comments, you could see people supporting him. Some people said, oh, this is the best video you've ever done. Like, are you guys being serious? Just in case you have forgotten or you are not seeing very clearly, just to let you know that black people are human beings. Okay? This is so disgusting. I don't want this video to be too long. Like, so many stitches, people canceling him. It's just in his comment that you could see some people supporting him and telling him to ride on. They love the video and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, you guys, I thought I should bring this video here. Let me know what you all think in the comment, what you have to say. For me, this video is very disgusting and he needs to take the video down. Just take the video down. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and of course, come back for another video. I'm gonna see y'all in my next one. Y'all be blessed. Bye.